Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're looking at the Bestech Slyther. This is one of their budget knives, and it's interesting to see the name Bestech, but see a price tag of 68 bucks, because this thing is one of their budget knives. It is a very well made. It just happens to have cheaper materials in it. All right, this one has a flat ground reverse tanto blade that I am not a fan of. I specifically got this model because I had two different people happen to mention it to me in messages. One person had it, one person was thinking about getting it, and in both cases I thought, man, that looks ugly. Not the knife overall looks good. You know, you show me this, I say, oh, that's cool. What kind of tip we got on there? And to me, it looks like the tip is broken off. I don't know what it is. It's just a personal preference thing. Some people think clip points are stupid. Some people think tanto or tanto blades are stupid. It really comes down to personal preference. I can tell you it works very well. All right, it has a nice acute point on it because of that cut, but I just happen to think that is an ugly blade profile. But anyway, that is nor here or there, because this is actually a fantastic knife for under 70 bucks. So some specs: 3.6 inches on our blade. They're using in Sandvik 14C 28N. Again, that's how they're getting that $68 price tag. You throw, you know, S35VN on this knife, and now all of a sudden it's $175. But I have no issues with the steel, no problems at all. This one happens to be a flipper design, which is very nice, extremely smooth. It does have a ball bearing system in here in the pivot. All right, the flipper itself is kind of low profile there. There is jimping on there. No issues at all with this one, you know, as far as using the flipper. I don't have to kind of do anything funky like push in and down or anything like that. There's no real huge buildup. It has a little tension and then it shoots right out. Extremely smooth, and it locks up fantastic. No play in any direction whatsoever, which again, on a sub $75 knife, that is, it's a good thing to have. I mean, not all knives under 100 bucks, you could say, lock up like a bank vault like this thing does. Obviously, just mentioned, I'm not a fan of the blade profile. We do have a long fuller here with some holes in it. That's just an aesthetic thing. You can use it, even though it's a flipper, you can get your finger in there a little bit. If you do the double finger thing, you can open it manually slower, but it's not really what it was meant for. You know, I believe that they would design this, either the blade would stick out more or the handle would have more of a recessed cut in there if they wanted you to do that. But if you wanted to, let's say, you know, you're opening somewhere and you don't want to, you know, go ahead and flick your knife out and scare anyone. A knife. I think I said knife. I don't know why. But anyway, you do that pinch grip thing, and you can pinch that blade, and once you break that free, it's easy to just open it slowly, if need be. Deep concealed pocket clip on this one. Smooth side G10. By the way, we do have dual color G10, as you could see. So there's two layers, red on the bottom, black on the top. When they make these relief cuts, you have that red poking out, which is kind of cool looking. I definitely dig that. All right, I do also like the B for our pivot design, let's just say. So we have our presentation pivot side, right? There's obviously our Torx head side for our screw, which is beveled, which looks very nice. It's just a very well finished, you know, hardware on this for the price tag. But we had the B for Bestech, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, it's super smooth, locks up great. It is comfortable in the hands. It's a very simple design, single finger troll here, and then just pretty much a very slight curvature on our handle, which is barely noticeable. So pointer finger goes in there. There is jimping on the blade here. It's not that aggressive at all. It's not really doing much for me. You could feel it there, of course, but it's very shallow. All right, the cut in there. I'll give you a close-up shot of that. So yeah, I mean, you could feel that it's jimped. It's slightly textured there, but it's not, you know, it's not really holding on to my my finger skin or anything like that. But yeah, as far as ergonomics, totally fine. No issues with it being uncomfortable. I do feel, because of the deep concealed clip, I do feel that clip a little bit in the hand, but even with harder cutting, I didn't really get any hot spots. Long term, maybe that would be an issue. If you happen to have this Slyther model, let everyone know in the comment section if you use it, EDC it every day, weeks and weeks and weeks. Let me know if you have any kind of hot spots or issues with that pocket clip. Like I said, I do feel it. I EDC this for probably a week, maybe like 8 to 10 days, something like that. No issues from the usage I got in that, or at home when I'm doing my little cardboard testing and stuff. But like I said, long term, it really depends, I think, on your hand size. But yeah, it's a budget Bestech, which to me, it's pretty cool to see that. You know, I would have assumed, again, with a better blade steel on this guy, it would be easily twice, if not 3 times as much money, which to me is honestly crazy. There's really a ton of quality in here. Very simple design, but it's just really well done. The fit and finish. I mean, look at the lineup with those liners and these scales. You can see it is skeletonized, so you can see a light through there. All right, try to lighten up the weight a little bit. It's very well finished. The fit and finish is fantastic on this for the price tag. But that's what's crazy to me is that you throw on a different blade steel and again, twice the price, 3 times the price. That would easily be justified by a lot of collectors and users out there. Oh yeah, it's got a premium steel on it. So yeah, I would easily pay $200 for the identical knife. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with any of the Sandvik steels. The 14C28N works fine. In my testing, it did start to noticeably dull. Not like dull like I couldn't cut anything, but I mean, it was zipping through cardboard in the beginning, but it didn't take all that much to start feeling a difference, feeling that little bit of resistance there. All I did was strop it up. I did not sharpen this. It stropped up very nicely. It took literally 10 minutes. I did a little more stropping than I normally do. I probably did, I don't know, 50 or 60 passes on either side. But it got it back to, you know, shaving sharp. It was fine. No issues with that at all. As far as softer steels out there or lower quality steels, you just have to keep higher maintenance. You know, is it worth the price tag, the difference? I don't know. That is totally up to you guys. I know some people out there, they'd rather pay $300 or $400 for a knife and not have to sharpen it for 6 months or a year. It really depends on how much you're using it. A lot of people carry knives a lot of the time, but don't use them that much. And there's nothing wrong with that. You have a knife because you're prepared, but you're not using it day in and day out. You're not using it for your occupation or anything like that. That's awesome. Then you have that massive longevity. You can get a premium steel on a knife and it could just be pocket jewelry that you occasionally use. You won't have to sharpen that for a year or more. I know people in that situation. I have knives that I've done that myself where I've carried them. I just haven't really used them that much outside of testing. When I'm testing a knife specifically to, you know, make a video on it, if someone had a request on a knife they want me to try out, that's different. I really try to test them as much as possible. But just casually carry knives, sometimes there's knives I haven't sharpened for 2-3 years because I carry it, I don't know, maybe 5 weeks out of the year and I'm barely using it, you know. But on the other side of the spectrum, there's people I know who use knives every single day in their occupation, and they have $25 Walmart knives. They carry Kershaws and CRKTs, and half the time they're not even all that sharp, but they still get the job done. You know what I mean? And then they sharpen them, and they sharpen them mediocrely on, you know, like a hand stone or something, and they're not even that sharp when they're done, but they maintain it enough that they're actually getting their cutting jobs done. You know, it's not zipping through things like a you know, hot knife through butter, but it's still cutting stuff. You know, I think a lot of people out there, especially when you're talking about like kitchen cutlery, you're rocking dull knives all the time. Not you guys. If you're watching this video, you're watching a knife review, you probably have sharp knives. I just mean the average person. They have dull kitchen knives. They're in their kitchen squishing tomatoes, you know, and you know, pulverizing meat, trying to cut the stuff. But if it's sharp enough to get through it, they're using a lot more pressure than they have to, but you know, they don't know the difference. So it's just one of those things. Anyway, so there you go. The Bestech Slyther, ugly blade profile, fantastic quality knife. That is just what it is. So again, this was prompted by 2 different people. If you know who you are, thanks for bringing up the model. I didn't know about it until the first person mentioned it. I'm like, oh, it's a pretty interesting knife. It's a fantastic price. I don't think I've seen a cheaper Bestech to date. Now, if you guys know of one that's similarly priced, a model, because most of the Bestechs I've seen or have or used have all been 100 plus, some $200, $300 knives. So, you know, it's pretty cool to see that Bestech logo on something that's, again, under 75 bucks that actually works really well. So anyway, that's all. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.